Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for mid-April 2024. We're going to jump right in here. You have this right path card. I'm pretty sure you've had this card with me before, if I'm not mistaken, but it says, you're on the right path, keep moving forward. You're not lost. Sometimes the right path is not always the easiest. You have this helper card. It says, think before you offer help, set healthy boundaries. And I definitely feel that for you, Aries. I'm almost 1,000% sure that I've said to you before that, you, Aries, I think you need to be careful. I see Aries becoming more successful as we move forward here. And I think that the problem is going to be as you become more successful, people are going to want more of your time. So, again, it doesn't mean you can't help people. It doesn't mean you can't give people time. It just says, you only have so much time. So make sure that you're not, make sure you're only giving, enough, and make sure you're giving yourself enough so that you can get things done, and then you can give time to other people. Again, don't burden yourself with the Ten of Wands, and that's kind of what I feel this is saying here. So I would definitely, pay attention to that. You start off with the Ten of Swords and Five of Swords. I'll show you in just a minute, but the Ten of Swords and Five of Swords kind of wanted to come out together there. And so the Ten of Swords and the Five of Swords can say something is dead, done, over with, and that you're separating away from something with that Five of Swords. It doesn't have to be a person or anything. It could be, anything that you are separating away from. In a lot of ways, Aries, as I've said to you before, I think that you could be separating away from yourself. But the Ten of Swords really says that you are just separating away from things that aren't working. This is dead. He's dead on the Ten of Swords. And he's making a symbol right here with his hands that represents a blessing in disguise. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be kind of receiving a blessing, or really, maybe you're not receiving a blessing. It's maybe the blessing is the fact that you're letting something go and starting something new. That could be the blessing. And you have the Five of Swords here, which definitely says that you are separating away from things, or you're moving on from something. And I definitely feel that here. The other thing is that you have the King of Cups as your crossing energy. The King of Cups represents very deep emotions. He even has this whale. I mean, it looks like a fish, but this is supposed to be a whale back here, and it kind of represents the fact that he has explored his emotions on a very deep level. And so I kind of feel that some of you might not know how you feel about, kind of removing yourself from a situation, or, getting out of a situation. I kind of feel this is more like growing apart from things, It's I don't know. I see a lot of leveling up going on for you, Aries, and I think you have been working on yourself for a long time. And it's at a certain point you start, leveling up, and you just don't resonate anymore with people, places, and things that you used to. So I kind of get the feeling that some of you might be understanding, or kind of having these realizations that there are just some situations, people, places, and things that no longer serve you, and really can't. Maybe you can't be in the energy anymore because energetically you have kind of grown, or you've done a lot of soul searching or some deep introspection, kind of like the Hermit. But the King of Cups is a little different, but he's still done some soul searching. He has explored the depths of his emotions. He understands how he feels about pretty much everything. And so there's a lot of deep work kind of going on here, especially with those first few cards. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Four Swords, Mercury retrograde. You even have this retrograde card that says review on it. The Four Swords is about resting, relaxing, recovering, but Mercury retrogrades, of course, are a great time to kind of listen to your inner voice, rest, relax, recover, heal, all sorts of stuff, right? So I think it would be a great time for you to listen to your inner voice, or I think it would be a great time for you to rest, relax, recover. Just take advantage of the retrograde. Review things as well. It's a great time to review past situations, past things in general. You have the Death card coming up in your foundation. The Death card represents a transformation. Again, I think you're going through a major transformation. We go up like this to the Chariot, and I think that the Chariot perfectly describes Aries energy, especially for the past couple years and for the next couple years. I definitely see Aries being one of the main signs that could be really setting themselves apart, and raising the bar in life. And so whatever it is that you do, you might be taking it to the next level, raising the bar, again, setting yourself apart by doing things differently with the Chariot and the Death card transformation. So if you have any futuristic ideas for, your work or business, or things that you've been working on, or if you have any ideas to upgrade, whatever it is that you do, I would definitely encourage you to do that. I think it will put you into a sun period. We have the two pillars from the moon right here, and the sun is coming up between those two pillars. The death card can literally say you are entering into a period of the sun. And the sun just represents like clarity, having answers, knowing what to do, joy, happiness, like all the things that the sun represents. But for you, I think that it's more talking about clarity on your direction and understanding what you're supposed to be doing in your life. In the past, the funny thing is you have the Ten of Pentacles in the past, and what's really funny about this to me, just intuitively right now, is that I think some of you, few years ago, you feels like you were at the top. Like maybe you felt like you had peaked, or maybe you felt like you reached like a pinnacle, or that you found a lot of success and, all this other stuff. But I really see this reading as saying that you're leaving the Ten of Pentacles behind. It's not like saying, oh, you're not going to have the Ten of Pentacles. What it's saying is that you are growing past it. You are creating more. I think you're realizing that what you thought was the Ten of Pentacles isn't, and you're kind of now, setting off to create the Ten of Pentacles. That's almost the energy that I get here. It's almost like I'm pretty sure that I've said this to you before, but it's like whatever you have accomplished over the past, 5-6 years, something like that, I feel like maybe it has taught you that you can accomplish a lot more. So maybe you thought you could only, at a certain point, you thought you could only accomplish what you had accomplished, but then something has changed inside of you here, Aries. We see that at the beginning of the reading. I hope this is making sense. Probably not. But anyway, I think that something in you has changed, and it's because what you accomplish something. It's like sometimes when we accomplish something, I think we say to ourselves like, oh, what else can I do, right? And that's what I feel like you're doing here. You have a sad news card. It says bad news, inconvenient truth, delusional. This is like coming up in your past, what you're moving past. So you could be letting go of something that made you sad. You have this routine card. It says daily tasks, patterns, plans, consistent, predictable. I think that for a lot of you, you could be changing your daily routine. I also see moving here, Chariot in the world for sure. If you're moving, obviously your daily routine could be changing, if you move. So I feel that some of you could just be moving in the near future. You have the Ten of Wands here. Sorry, you didn't want to do that. The Ten of Wands is a card of carrying burdens. I like the Ten of Wands personally because it's like, yeah, he's carrying burdens, but he's about to reach his home here in the background. And those 10 wands kind of represent his harvest. So he's about to have a harvest. And this is showing up in the area of your very near future. So I feel all your hard work is about to pay off. It's like you're about to have a harvest for something. I also feel that there could be like a moment that happens, maybe not like right now. This could be something I feel that happens by like September or something like that, so over the year or the rest of the year, basically. I feel like something is going to happen for you that is kind of like a breakthrough moment, but not really like a breakthrough. I mean, it's almost like popping into my head as something that gives you a lot of confidence, so, maybe it's like, someone, pats you on the back, or maybe you get a raise or a promotion. Again, remember what I said about Ten of Pentacles and realizing that your Ten of Pentacles maybe isn't actually your Ten of Pentacles. There's more. And I kind of feel like there could be a breakthrough moment in the sense that, you could be, someone, it's almost like something is happening to you that is going to show you that you can do even more, right? And so I hope that makes sense. I don't know, pretty deep reading here, Aries. I like it. I like where it's going. You have this retrograde card. It says review. You have this North Node card. It says future on it. Definitely would be an amazing time to review how far you've come. I think it would be an amazing time to just do all the typical retrograde stuff, rest, relax, recover, review, look into things, research things, all that stuff. I do feel like you are definitely moving into the future here for sure. In the area of the next few months, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I kind of see you as being hard at work, planting seeds, making progress. I feel pretty good about this. Sometimes I like the Knight of Pentacles. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think the Knight of Pentacles can represent making too slow of progress. But again, it looks to me like you are making, just the right amount of progress, or you're finally making progress in your life. And so I feel like you're finally finding success with this energy. I also feel like there is more... I feel like there's more growth happening. So what I mean by that is maybe you are used to working on something and only seeing like a tiny bit of growth. I think there's much more growth every time you work on something, like whether it's a project, a business, could be a relationship as well. Although I wouldn't really say this is a love reading. I mean, there's love here only with the King of Cups. We are going to clarify, so we will see what comes up. But I think that this reading is more deep. Like I said, it's more kind of like a deep work, deep introspection type of reading, and I feel you've been doing a lot of deep work. You have the world. The world can represent an accomplishment or an achievement. I feel like there's a ton of accomplishment and achievement energy coming in for you, or you could just be accomplishing a lot at this time. This is showing up in the area of your closest relationships. So if you are moving, obviously you're going to meet new people probably, unless you just stay at home all day like I do. But don't do that. I would get out there, meet new people, right? But you could be socializing. I do see some of you like traveling to socialize as well. So you could be like going to an event or traveling somewhere, going on vacation, meeting new people. This could also represent, again, if you do want love, could represent a long distance connection. I don't really feel that, intuitively, but, it's always possible. So I will say it, but I do feel this could also say that the people in your life are seeing you achieve things. Again, I feel like I've warned you about this before, Aries. I would be very careful. This does not mean I always like to remind people that we don't have to take it to 11, right? If, I think sometimes people think like, oh, I'm being more successful and people are asking for me for money, I have to eliminate all these people from my life. It's like, no, you don't have to eliminate the people from your life, but maybe you need to draw the boundary. Maybe you need to spend less time with the people, right? So I don't think we have to go crazy, but I do feel people are seeing you as more successful. The world kind of says people are seeing you in the world, of the world. And I feel maybe you need to draw some boundaries or something like that. In the area of your future feelings, you have the Chariot. Love it. Feeling victorious, feeling like a winner. I feel like you're feeling very motivated, determined, all the things that go into the Chariot. He is the card that says where there's a will, there's a way. So I feel like you're feeling like you can accomplish great things. And the whole entire reading basically says that, that you thought you reached the top. And I feel like you're realizing that there's so much more that you could accomplish, or that you're capable of doing much more, right? With that 10 of Pentacles, right? It's kind of like when your parents say to you, like, did you do your best, right? I feel like some of you are trying to do your best here. You're trying to say, like, really, have I done as much as I can, or is there more that I could do? And that's what I feel like is going on here with the Chariot, is that you're kind of like reaching a pinnacle, or you're trying, or not even, I think you're trying to reach a new pinnacle. The Chariot is also about like as above, so below, and we seem to be in a time of heightened manifestation. He has these stars in his canopy, these moons on his shoulders, so I would definitely make sure you're practicing good like law of attraction type stuff. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is your fortunes turning in your favor. So I do feel like things are kind of turning around for you, and your fortunes are changing, hopefully for the better. I do feel very lucky about this. Again, I love the Wheel of Fortune, but I think that the Wheel of Fortune, some people read it as, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I think some people read it as being better than it actually is, because we have to take action with Wheel of Fortune, but I feel like you are taking action here to control your destiny. So again, there's really, I just feel you are changing your fortunes, and obviously that's a good thing. You have this new moon in Gemini. It says communication is key. You have this other card that says new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. I think we are in a time of fear, and I don't say that to scare you. I say that to say that if you are afraid of something, I would face it. We literally have this right here. This is a snake on the side of the Wheel of Fortune. Snakes kind of represent our vibrations on the Wheel of Fortune. It's like a squiggly line, so it says we have to give off the vibration of what we want to accomplish it. But snakes are also guardians of portals, and the Wheel of Fortune is a portal. The World card is a portal. So to get through the portal, we have to face some sort of fear. Basically, snakes represent fear, and we have to kind of face a fear to get through the portal. And I kind of feel that for you. Like, what is the fear? I don't think it's not like a real fear. I think that this is maybe the fear of setting boundaries. Maybe you have a hard time setting boundaries with people, but doing it is going to be the thing that gets you to cross through the portal and is going to turn your fortunes in your favor. Maybe this is like needing to stick up for yourself is what I'm trying to say. Or maybe it's, you need to kind of speak up, or maybe you need to, launch that business finally. Whatever it is, I would do it, because clearly it's going to change your fortunes. With the King of Cups and the Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords, you have the King of Cups. So definitely a lot of deep work, like I said. Could be love coming in for you. You could be attracting a King of Cups type person. Someone who's explored their emotions. Doesn't have to be a water sign. It could be any sign. It could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Cancer. You have all the fixed signs here, Scorpio. It could be any sign, general reading. But I feel that it is a person who kind of like expresses themselves on a deep level, someone who has explored their emotions. I feel like could be a little bit of an adventurer as well, like someone who likes to go on adventures, something like that. With the Four Swords, are you kidding? You have the Hermit. I literally said that. I knew that the Hermit was going to come up in this reading because, I just get that like deep introspective feeling from the reading. I think that maybe, you might even have people right now that are saying that you're more quiet than usual or something like that, but I really feel you're processing a lot of information. And I got that feeling right at the beginning of the reading. I literally said Hermit at the beginning of the reading. So, there you go. I definitely feel this like very deep, thoughtful energy coming from you. I don't know. I would keep doing it. There's nothing, it's not like it's hurting you, and I think that it's good for the retrograde as well. I think that being introspective and, kind of reviewing things, processing information, all that is good for during a retrograde. And it's clearly leading to something as well. That's the thing here. With the Death card, you have the Chariot. Yeah, a change is going to lead to a victory. We go up to the Chariot as well. So the Chariot can say you're like leaving behind the familiar. The whole point of the Chariot is that he's leaving the city behind him so that he can set himself apart. He wants to be unique. He wants to be different. He wants to maybe stand out in a different way in the world. And so I feel for a lot of you, the Chariot could say that you are doing that. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Yeah, a victory, a success, good things happening. It's really funny that, again, another really good card showed up here. It's like, I think that you reach the top. And I don't want this to sound wrong, Aries, right? But it's almost as if you're chasing a high, And I don't mean that like literally. I'm speaking figuratively here, so bear with me. But what I would say here is that it's almost like you experienced something great where you had a win, you reached the top of something. But I also feel like you're realizing that you can do it again, or that you can accomplish something again. So that's what I see there. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. I would be as curious as you want to be right now. I think that a lot of people get the Page of Swords energy. It's a card of curiosity. And you have all this retrograde energy showing up in your reading. Or I should say that retrograde card is showing up in your reading, and the Four of Swords as well. So I think that it could be a good time for you to look into things that you're curious about. If something captures your attention, or if you're interested in something, or something stands out to you, or whatever, I would pay attention to it because it could be something that you need to you might just need to like listen to that inner voice, or you might just need to listen to what your curiosity is telling you, right? And that's what I would do here. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is kind of like turning one thing into another. I always say we can turn a negative into a positive, but we can also turn a positive into a negative with the Temperance card. So I would make sure you're going the right direction here with Temperance. I would make sure that you're focusing on the positive as well. I think that there's just like a lot of good positive stuff, energy coming up in this reading, but I would definitely make sure that you're focusing on it in general. And we see a lot of turnaround energy here. This. I think I said something about having like a minor breakthrough as well coming in for you with that Ten of Wands. So, again, there could be like some sort of breakthrough moment. And it could be leading to a turnaround. With the World, you have the Six of Swords. I really feel there's major transitions going on for you, and even like leaving things behind. You have so many cards that would represent that. Chariot twice, this, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords. I mean, you are clearly in this major transition zone. These people are going across these choppy waters, and they're completely leaving their past behind. You have the World here. You could almost be leaving your current world behind and going in, heading towards a new world, a new destination in your life. But I think that you are kind of, in a lot of ways, I see you like creating your own reality here. I mean, this is a very powerful reading, Aries. So you could be entering into, it's like you're curating your reality. Let's put it that way. Maybe you have realized what you can accomplish, right? With the Ten of Pentacles, Six of Wands in your past. Because of this, it's allowing you to realize that you can create something, like a much better life. And, that might require some change. With the Chariot, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is about material success on the horizon. It basically says, what you work on now is going to lead to a result in the future. That's one thing that this card can represent, and that's kind of what I feel for you. I feel like you're about to get your results. Like, you're very close. You have the Ten of Wands, you have this card. He's only got one more pentacle here to work on. Like, he's almost done. And so I feel you are almost done with something. You're about to, reach the next level. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, a passionate new beginning. It's out with the old, in with the new. The whole entire reading, it talks about out with the old, in with the new, leaving things behind. And I think that, this is a passionate new beginning. So there is clearly a passionate new, it's like a passionate new time that you are stepping into here, Aries. And I love it. Definitely one of the better readings I've done for you in a while. I think that it's all about you. For sure. I don't really, could there be love? Sure. But I think that this is a reading that's more talking about like the deep work that you've done on yourself. You have this criticism card. I would just completely ignore criticism and just ignore it, plain and simple. So I think that if anyone's talking about you or anything like that, just ignore it, right? Next, you have this negotiation card. I would say like no negotiation. This is meant to be a good card, but I don't like it ever. Because sometimes I feel like the card is just energetically saying to me, like, settle. And I feel like this is saying, no, you should not settle. You should go for exactly what you're trying to accomplish here. You have this appreciation card. I feel like there's a lot of abundance coming in for you. There's a cornucopia here. It seems to me like we're in a time of appreciation as well. Like I see the Five of Cups a lot, the Nine of Pentacles. Five of Cups is a card of needing to be grateful. Nine of Pentacles is a card of gratitude. So I think anything you can do to express gratitude would be a really good idea. You have this adaptability card. We're in a time of adaptability. Anything, again, if something doesn't work, temperance. If one way to do something doesn't work, try another way. It's literally that simple. So, there you go. And finally, you have this choices card, this choice card, I should say. I do think you have a choice between like the moon and the sun. We see that right here. So it's like you have a choice between something that's going to light you up or something that's going to keep you in darkness. And again, I think the thing that's going to keep you in darkness is, staying attached to your old story. So it's like you and Taurus the most. And you're right next to each other, so it makes sense. But I think you definitely need to change your story with this energy is what I would say to you. But this looks really interesting, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.